Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is the additional tools that are available in Google's Maps section of your territory training. What we're going to do now is we're going to show you how to access the maps that you've created and uploaded into the system from your account lists, and what additional functionality you have available in the system to help you. So what we're going to do first is let's go ahead and access the maps we've created. So we're going to click on our menu here. We're at maps.google.com. We're going to click on our menu, and we're going to go to Your Places. After you click on Your Places, once again, to get to your maps or to create a new map, you'll click on Maps, and you'll see that we have your territory that we put in a little bit earlier with our A, B, and C accounts. And additionally, I put in another map called Deals in Progress. If you recalled a little earlier, I had said one of the things that you can do to make life a little bit easier while you're on the road is to see what stores you already have deals with and take that from the CRM and import it into the Google Maps. And I'll show you some cool things you can do with that. But first, I'm going to go ahead and click on the My Territory map. You're going to see it's going to load into the system. Here are A, B, and C accounts. And to access the additional tools, I'm going to click the Open in My Maps. So it will open up the territory that you put in with your A, B, and C accounts. And I'll show you a few extra cool things you can do here. All right, now we did load all three accounts: our A, best accounts; B, moderate accounts; and C, low-level accounts. And you see we have a pretty cluttered map. If you want to clear this up, you can uncheck the accounts that you do not want to appear on the map and just get to the ones that you do want to see. All right, so we've taken out those middle-level and low-level accounts, and we're just focusing on our A-level accounts right now. So one of the things I want to show you is, I mentioned you can now zoom into an area that you might be visiting and then start clicking on the pins of the stores and gathering some data and figuring out where you're going in your routine. So what you can do here is you can figure out by mileage just what you can cover in a given day. So let's say we were focusing on our Charlotte area here and we wanted to see mileage between these stores around from Charlotte, say, down to Rock Hill and over to Monroe here. What we're going to do is we're going to first go to the store that we might visit first, right? Click on the pin on the map. And then you're going to see our data is going to come up, and we can click on this Directions to Here button. Now, this is going to allow us to get step-by-step directions, but more importantly, it'll give us the mileage that we're going to be driving when we go from store to store to store. So if we're going to go from this store to maybe the one in Pineville, you're going to see on the left-hand side here, we have a new untitled layer. As we click on the pins and we start putting in our driving destination, it's automatically going to put the route in there. Let's say we wanted to add a third or a fourth destination. We can click. That was our third. Here's our fourth destination. Give a click. And then if we wanted to add a fifth destination, let's say we were staying in the Charlotte area and we wanted to go back to Charlotte, we have all of our destinations in there. Now, once you've got your destinations in here, you see that it's a layer that you can now manipulate. You can rename the layer to something more, I guess you could say, apropos, but we have step-by-step directions, and here's the cool part. So we get step-by-step directions, and you might have a navigator in your car already, or something you might be using your phone, but with this, now you can see the mileage. Say this is your route for the day. You can see it's 13 miles to the first, or 13.7 to the first destination, and as we scroll here, and we get to that destination, it's 19.8. So now we're getting to see that, okay, we're traveling 33 miles so far. The next one is 18.8, so that's another 19 miles. So we're at 52 miles. And then when we head back to our final destination or another destination, you can see very easy, 65 miles all round trip through this area. And if you want, you can right-click on here, print it up so that you can save it to your files if you're filing this away for your trip, and know exactly what your mileage is per the day. So I think that's pretty cool that you can use Google Maps to calculate your mileage for a given day. And you could also see historically, if you want to save the layer, what you did for that day and so forth. If you don't want to save the layer, right? Let's say you do not want to save this layer, you just want to get rid of it after you did that, you can just click delete layer, it will delete it, and it's off of your system. Now, let's say you did this for the day and you want to mark it off somehow that, hey, you visited this area. As you ping these stores, if they're good, you could go in here and you can edit the account. And if you had another marker in here or another field that you imported in that wanted to give you an account status, sort of like what you have in progress. You can edit. It'll open up the fields, and you can start, editing and doing things like that to change what's going on or what information you have on that store. If you don't want the store anymore, we saw that you could right click and delete the pin. But what I like also is you have this drawing tool up here. See where it says draw a line? Let's say you covered this area of your territory. What you can do is you can add a line or a shape. We saw about driving and biking routes. I'm going to click add line or shape. Now watch this. I'm going to section off this area. Say we visited this area of our territory. And once we complete the circle, it is now a polygon that's in the area. You could rename the polygon, put in more information once again, and it's saved to your map. Now, as you zoom out, you know that in your territory you visited this area, and you no longer need to concentrate it for that month or for that week or for that quarter. However you're planning your travels. So I think these are two really cool things that you can do with the system: is get your driving route, and of course with this drawing tool, section off areas that you visited. Another neat thing you could do is if you are team selling and you are doing things inside of this map and people want to know where you are, so you have a fellow teammate that sells a different kind of product in the field, or you have an inside sales representative that wants to know what stores you've hit, what stores you visited, and they want to do it by geography. They don't want to have to go to the CRM. This is a great tool for that. And what you do is you click share, and it'll allow you to enter in the email address of the person you want to share it with. They'll be given access to your map, and they'll be able to work with you on what's going on. All right. So one thing to note about sharing your map is you will need a Google account to do that. If you want to get a preview of what the map's going to look like, if you share it out, you'll click the preview button, and this is what your map will look like to folks that don't have edit access to it. They'll be able to see your map and where you are. All right. So you can tell them that, hey, it was in Charlotte, and then they can zoom in on the area and they see where you were. Great, great, great tool. Another thing you could do is if you want to go back into your maps area, let me go ahead and go back into my territory and go back into, well, I'll just close this out, and we'll go into back into your places, the Google Maps. I mentioned a little bit earlier that you had deals in progress, right? So let's say you had deals in progress. This is what was going on in your territory. It's not as big a territory, but this is what you have going on. You took it out of the CRM. You put it into the mapping software. Well, if you click on here, just like we saw before, if you have this information, you can now see the amount for the deal, what the close date is, if you got that out of the CRM, the demo appointment, and I always like to have how long the deal has been open. I always put in a little field for days open, or I have my CRM guy do that if I don't have access to it. So once you've got your maps in there, hold on, let me go back to your places. I want to show you one other neat thing you can do. I'm going to go into my map. I'm going to go into deals in progress. I'm going to open it in my maps. Now, here's another cool thing is if you got a lot of deals going on, right? You have this uniform style here. You might have seen that in the other maps. When you click on uniform style, it allows you to, instead of having one uniform color, if you want to break it out by stage, when I click on stage, you see how it automatically colorizes the deals that are inside of the map. And now I can see my demo appointments, my demos completed, how many of them, agreement negotiations, and it colorizes it for me. So I think that's another cool thing is you can see, where you have deals. If I just want to see my demos completed or stuff that I have in agreement negotiation, I can mouse over that and just see it. All right. Additionally, I have stage here. Another thing you might want to do is you might want to do it by product. So if I'm selling a couple of products, I want to see what products I'm selling to who. Another neat thing. So I hope this helps you out. This is another function, another few things you can do with your Google Maps. And we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up a couple more things in the next lesson.